I've often wondered when I'm taking apart a motorcycle for parts, how you could possibly do an engine removal without destroying anything, because I know it happens and I'm not a shop and I'm not trying to save people's bikes, but I thought we'd do a quick overview. See, I highlighted some parts of what you should do, and then I'll show you what I do. So, place the machine on a center stand. It's better to lift it up so you're not crouching and kneeling in a puddle of sump oil. Drain the engine oil and your, where did it say that? Oh, so drain your engine oil, and then there's another plug to drain more oil by the exhaust mounting. Didn't see that, didn't do that. It is now necessary to remove the oil filter. Yes, I noticed that. Then you take all the stuff that's not on my bike and it's fine. Take all the other stuff off. I noticed that. That's not hard to do. And then I'm having trouble, so I figured, hey, yep, took off the horn leads. That has to get out of the way. The horn has to be moved out. And unhook connecting flange and its mounting bolts. Oh, that's for the drive shaft. So yeah, you got to take the drive shaft off to get that unattached from the engine. It doesn't just slide out. You actually have bolts apparently. I think I got past that point. We'll look. And I don't think I did that. It's good to mark the alignment so that you can reassemble it the same way. Dismantle and remove the front engine plates. Yep, got that. There are 6 bolts and nuts there. Got that. On the rear, there's apparently different models. One has 2 large bolts. They also hold on your foot pegs. And there's 1 long through bolt on a lot of the bikes I've done. So you have to kind of release the engine pressure so that you can pull that out, knock it through with a screwdriver and a hammer. And then the engine unit is to be removed from the right hand side of the bike. Yep, that's what I've been trying to do, and it just didn't seem to fit that good. A minimum of 2 people. I have 1, and a third is nice to use. And lift the engine slightly and move the engine forward to clear the drive shaft flange. So, all these things are supposed to help you get out the engine safely, carefully, and without destroying anything or scratching anything. Let's go see what I'm doing. There's the right way, and then there's my way. So, I should have put a blanket down, but it would have got oily. So, this is where we're at. So, I don't know. I feel like this rear should come out because I already took out the rear bolts. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe that's why I can't get this thing free. Because I did not disconnect this guy. That's probably holding me up because there's bolts in there. Oh, yeah, that's probably the reason. So anyway, it's hard to tell because you got to slide it past these mounts and everything. This is a very big engine. I feel like it's bigger than the 650. I'm not sure. They might share casings, but I've gotten 650s out without too much trouble before. I am trying to go out the right side, so that seems to be correct. It's just very, very tight. Very, very tight to get out. But I bet you, if I undo those bolts, now that I read the directions, I might have it easier. So, that's definitely still connected. Yep, okay, that could be an issue. So, I disconnected the axle bolts, the swing arm bolts, I guess you would call them. And I bet once I disconnect that, so the rear is completely free, and I could get it free if I was free of the engine, and then we'll probably go. You could cut the frame. In my case, I'm not using the frame again. Unless somebody wants it, let me know. I usually just salvage them because it's hard to sell a bike frame without a title. Usually they don't rust out too bad, and nobody really wants it. And rather than have it sit around here for a while, just move it on down the road to the scrapyard. So the engine's the important part. We just want to get this broken down and out of the way because it's a parts bike. So you're supposed to take off this clip here and then pry back this sleeve. It's a rubber sleeve, it's in good shape. And then reveal your bolts to disconnect the shaft. See, Hondas just pull out. Yamahas apparently are bolted on and they don't just pull out. You're supposed to get these wires out of the way, make sure they don't get crimped or cramped or stuck on anything. Yeah, so it looks like once I do this, I'll be good to go. Anyway, anybody want some XJ750 parts? Let me know. We've got a bunch. Got some good shocks here. Everything's leaking a little bit since I made a mess, but another unorthodox way to do this. Finally got the rear end off. We leaked a bunch of fluid, but there is our, I don't know what you call it, U-joint. Learning that you can do this other ways. It does slide out of the gear if you get to this point. So there's your drive shaft, fits in there. Drive shaft is now connected to my rear wheel yet, and the rear drive train, the rear hub. But here are the 12mm bolts that you're supposed to unscrew. So now I could probably just dump this thing out. Here's a bolt, here's a bolt. There's what, 4. So at this point, if you didn't get a chance to get that off, this is one way to do it. Well, now this is upside down. Maybe we can figure out where that other drain plug is. I'm assuming, is this where the exhaust? I guess that's what it means. There might be a plug somewhere. I know it's here somewhere, and it has a very tiny, like a hex bolt. So I assume the other drain plug is here somewhere. Maybe it's in here. It's all greasy. I'm not gonna go after it. So there it is in all its glory. An upside down XJ750, 1982. I think we're gonna get this thing out now. Whether it comes out the left or right side, I don't care. It's pretty much open at this point. I feel like if I lean this one way or the other, it's coming out. So here we go. There she is. Boy, she looks gigantic sitting like that. I put down some rubber so that it didn't scratch the side casings. I don't know, this thing needs torn down. Maybe we'll show you how you would do a valve adjustment. But there is the XJ750. The heartbeat of America. I don't know where this was built. Probably Japan. I'm sure it says made in Japan somewhere. You can still leave this elbow on there. There's your drive shaft. Boop. Okay, so that's that. I'm going to flip it up. See if I can do this. I don't know if it's gonna roll away on me though. There's where the starter goes. Whoa. Oh, she's gonna keep rolling. Gonna stay right there. All right, so there we go. It's fun to see these engines torn down out of the bikes. You don't get to see that very often. Look, hardly even a scratch. A little bit, but that could have been there before. All right, guys. Now, that's the end. See you later.